Yep. It's video recording. Welcome to Morning Walks.
We fell in step so easy, like we done this 1,000 weekends. And the whole block felt lighter when you started laughing out loud. We took the long way home with the sky on our shoulders now. Walking with my friends, walking with my friends, round and round again. Walking with my friends.
So clearly, as you could see, I'm doing my first video podcast recording right now. And this was really hard to set up. I had to use two computers, a tablet, and 2 monitors. It's insane. I got my tablet recording. I got my computer here with, it's basically like all the software and all that stuff. Then I got another computer here that's displaying this in the background. Just crazy to set up. I had to move a ton of things around all throughout here. I had to put in a face light, all that stuff. But I look good. I always look good. But this is so much better than what it would have been if I hadn't done all this work. So I'm glad I did all this work to get it set up. I had to use my brother's monitor and computer. He was very hesitant at letting me use it. But it's all good because now I'm using it. Is it just me? Or is it like so hard to fall asleep at night? Because I know a lot of people that as soon as they lay down, they're asleep. For me, it takes me so long to fall asleep. I've tried almost every method there is. I mean, a big part of it is like I can't cool off because the AC is broken in my room. And so it's always like pretty stuffy in there. But the only problem with having a fan on is that me and my brother have a bunk bed. And if we turn the fan on, he'd get his head chopped off. Or at least that's what our parents say. But we have like a mini fan, which I always have on. But the only thing is, I tend to find out that whenever I have that fan on, I get sick. It's probably because I have it blown out my face, and I should probably have it like blown out my feet or something. But it's worth it for like the first hour, and then just get sick. But it's not working very well. So there's a lot of tricks to falling asleep. I've tried almost all of them. So I'm just gonna tell you some of the popular ones. So there's this one where you rub your forehead, and apparently that's just supposed to soothe you or something. I've tried counting sheep. Counting sheep definitely doesn't work. And then I've tried where you tense your muscles and then you untense. I've tried that a couple times. Last night I just tried this new one where that I just heard of. It's where you breathe in 4 seconds with your nose, hold for 7 seconds, and then breathe out for 8 seconds. So that one actually worked a little bit, but I wouldn't say it worked enough for me to do it every night because I had to do it like 10 times to even get me like a little sleepy. And then even then I still couldn't fall asleep. So I would listen to like a really calm podcast or songs or something like that. But my parents don't let me have headphones on while I'm sleeping, which is probably a smart idea, but I can't have it like playing on my Echo Dot or something because my brother sleeps in the same room as me. Like I said before, we have a bunk bed, but he doesn't like any sound at all. So, because I would love to fall asleep to like a podcast or calm music or even like white noise or something, but he's not the biggest fan of that. So I've tried a lot of tricks, not a lot of them working. We actually just got this new daybed to put in our playroom. It's actually where I'm recording right now, but it's like just over there. It's for when one of my grandmas comes over so they could have a place to sleep and one of us kids doesn't have to sleep on the couch. And I've actually slept on the daybed and it's great because my bed is like soft but also like hard at the same time or it's soft but firm, but I like to just like kind of sink in, you know. One thing I thought was really weird is because my grandma, she picked out the mattress on the daybed, but she picked out like one of the ones with springs in it, and so it's like kind of springy, like really bouncy. It's a lot of people don't think it's very comfortable, but I actually like the spring bed more than my normal bed because it's just like, I don't even know what it is about it. It's just better for me. And then it's also like twice as big as my bed because even though I'm 5'11", I sleep on a twin bed, and so I have to like curl up, and I could never like fully extend out. But since the day bed that we have is 2 twin beds that pull out, it's great because I could just lay like in a star position and be fine. My parents won't let me sleep out here all the time. I actually might be able to do it more into the summer. I'll probably talk about summer a little bit more later on in this episode, but yeah, I might be able to sleep out here more in the summer because my parents don't like me sleeping out here on a school night. I mean, whenever I sleep out here, though, I always tend to wake up pretty early because in my room, we have like blinds that cover the window. So the sunlight doesn't wake me up. But in here, I don't know if you could see, but they're in the background, but there's windows everywhere. And so when I'm laying down, there's always light hitting my face. And so that tends to wake me up. I don't mind waking up early. I actually enjoy it, but my parents don't like me waking up early, especially on weekends. They think I should sleep in. But I've always been a morning person. I'm kind of weird like that. I mean, I don't know a ton of morning people. A bunch of my friends are like night owls and stuff. Like I'm still a night owl, but even if I like fall asleep at like 3 a.m, I'll still wake up at like 7:30 probably. The latest I've ever slept in is 9:30, believe it or not. Or the latest that I can remember, because of course I might have like slept in to like, I don't know, somewhere past that when I was like 3 or 4, but like anywhere after like 5 probably. 9:45 is the latest I've ever slept in. Yeah, a lot of my friends, like I said, sleep in for a while. It's always kind of like awkward when you're like sleeping over at our friend's house, and then you wake up before them because I'm always the morning bird. Whoa, it's morning bird, right? I'm not sure because I know it's night owl, but what's morning? Huh. But anyways, like I was saying, It's always really awkward. Or it's actually better if you know the person better, because for I've I mean, I don't sleep over at a ton of friends' houses, but when I have this one friend that always wakes up like really late, but that's fine because like I've been over to his house a bunch of times and we've known each other for like 9 years. And so it's not like that bad when you know the person well and you could just like, I don't know, go on your tablet or something, just kind of hang out, wait for them to wake up. I don't mind that as much. But like if it's somewhere where you're like sleeping over at someone's house for like the first time, then that always gets me nervous because like I'm always like, wait, should I wake up early so they're not waiting for me, or should I wake up later so I'm not waiting for them? So it's all fun though. It's all fun. It's my mom's mug. Just decided to bring it on for the vibes of this day's episode. But yeah, I've been playing, or I haven't been playing a lot of it, but I've been playing GeoGuessr a bit. I don't know if you guys know what it is, but it's essentially where it's Google Maps, but they like block out like where in the world you are. So you're on a street and you have to kind of figure out like what country or even what state you're trying to get as close. You're trying to guess as close to your position as possible. So let's say I'm like, I don't know, let's see, what's like a famous street? I don't know any of the streets in New York, but let's just say there's like Main Street or whatever you call it. So let's say I'm on Main Street, and so I have to guess somewhere in New York. So it won't tell me that I'm in New York. It'll just tell me the street name. And so I have to guess where in the world or where in the country I am based off of the street name and just like the surroundings, because usually there's like some clues, like kind of like the scenery or the stores that are there, stuff like that. Like if you see a Whataburger, it's probably somewhere in Texas. Or I don't know if any of you know this, but there's this. I'm always good at guessing like somewhere in Sweden because they have this like one really particular. How do you say that word? Alexa, how do you pronounce particular?
I pronounce that particular, but I'm always working on how I say things, and I might not have it right.
Particular. Okay, so I think it's particular, but there's just this particular rock that you always see in, I think it's Sweden or Norway or one of those countries, like northern European countries. I could always guess those ones just based off of that one rock. Here it is. Found out what I know it from. It's like the frozen trolls, and like they're what they look like. It's kind of similar to the rocks in that country. I'm actually not sure where Frozen was based off of, but I think it's the northern European countries. There's actually some crazy Disney theories. Like, there's this one about that connected Frozen, Tarzan, and Rapunzel, I think. Yeah. So the theory is that when Rapunzel got like lost, or when the Mother Gothel took her, shoot, I'm gonna blink on her name. And Anna and Elsa, their parents, they died from trying to go to that palace, or they didn't die, but their shipwreck crashed from trying to go to that palace, and then or trying to go to the palace to like help the king or Rapunzel's parents, to like try to help them find Rapunzel, right? And so their ship gets crashed, and Ariel finds their ship, and that's like the ship in the movie. I haven't seen Ariel or the Little Mermaid in like years, but I'm pretty sure there's like a ship, and that's the ship that Anna and Elsa's parents crashed. And so they wash up on shore, and then they have a kid named Tarzan. Because you know how at the beginning of the Tarzan movie, the mom and dad just come up, and then the tiger like kills them but leaves the baby. And so yeah, so Tarzan is Anna and Elsa's brother. I'm not sure if any of that could be logically connected, because they were kind of different times. Because I know that like the Tarzan era was when they had like guns and stuff, and it was like Industrial Revolution times, and then the Frozen was more based off of like medieval times. But maybe it was just like a less developed area of the world. So I don't know. I wonder if those could possibly connect. Disney has got to stop remaking animated movies into live action movies. But then again, all the original movies do, like nowadays, in my opinion, do suck. I haven't seen Hoppers, but the past couple Disney movies have been pretty bad. So, I mean, I get why they want to make all the live action movies, but I don't think they should keep going on the live action, because it's just kind of dragging on at this point. All the live action stuff is nowhere close to as good as the original. Like, I do really like Will Smith, but no one's beating Robin Williams in Aladdin. And if you think differently, you think differently, but that's how I think. And also, The Rock and Moana. I'm gonna pull up that picture right now, because honestly, it's really bad. You could see like his Moana. You could see like his forehead is just insane. It's 10 feet high. No offense to The Rock, it's just they probably could have done better on. Yeah, they probably could have done better on the special effects. But yeah, as you see right here, like his They probably could have done better on like his hair, and honestly, he's probably too skinny now to be able to play Maui how everyone would like it to be, because Maui's kind of like bigger, bulkier. He's got more of a fat face, and I can say that because Maui's not a real person, or he might be, because he's like a myth, but as far as I know, he's not based off a real person. I mean, I do really like The Rock. He's a really good actor, but he just doesn't have the hair for that. Literally. I didn't mind it though. I feel like it's going to be, I feel like the live action is going to be pretty good. However, if I go with friends, me and my friends are just going to be laughing so hard about it the entire time. Just watched The Breadwinner the other day. I talked about it a lot on my last podcast. I'm so glad they're doing comedy movies again, because there was like a huge gap. So I'm glad they're starting to pick back up the comedy movies with like theatrical releases, because that was honestly not the best. But it's getting better now. We've got some real comedies. A Scary Movie is coming out. If you don't know what that is, it's literally called A Scary Movie. It's basically a movie that's making fun of all the horror movies, and it looks really good. I haven't seen any of the original Scary Movies because I'm not allowed to, and I probably won't be allowed to see this one, but still looks really good. The Breadwinner was kind of old school, but it was definitely one that you'd be like, you'd show to your kids and you'd be like, hey, this one's like a cool movie that came out when I was a teenager. And it would definitely be like, it's definitely like a kid's movie, but I feel like everyone can enjoy it. The person laughing the loudest in the entire theater when I went to see it was just some dad behind us who's there with his two daughters, I think, and he was just laughing so hard the entire time. So yeah, it was pretty good. I'm excited for a lot of movies this year. There's gonna be some really good ones. Speaking of movies, I just started watching Saving Private Ryan. It started off really, really good. I think I'm like an hour, 20 minutes in. So it's insanely good. If you haven't watched it, it's a Tom Hanks movie. It also has like Matt Damon, Vin Diesel, a bunch of people in it. It's really good. It's about like a World War II, I forget what they're called, but it's like Commander or something like that. And him and his squad's trying to go save this guy who his three brothers died in the war. And so he's got they're trying to save him because they don't want his mom to like have to deal with that much. I just got signed up at school for this thing. I forget what it's called, but it's essentially a like group that leads all the new incoming sixth graders around the middle school as eighth graders, because I don't know what it is for other places, but for ours it's TK or like preschool through 5th grade in one school, and then it goes to 6th, 7th, and 8th, and then last 4 years of high school. And my little brother is going into 6th grade, so I get to show him around the school and have him carry on my legacy. One of my cousins was talking to me about that. They said that, like, apparently the thing to do is to get one, like, 6th grader when you're in 8th grade, and then just teach them a ton of stuff. And so literally they could leave your legacy on at the school. And then if you have a younger sibling, you got that in place already. And the youngest sibling, it's their job to carry on the family name throughout the school. So yeah, I actually get to skip like a lot of classes and stuff for this group. And yeah, we just show them around. And we also get like free snacks and pizza and stuff. It's really cool. I only have to do 2 days in the summer, but that's like, it's all going to be fun because I have a couple friends there doing it. And we're just going to be chilling, hanging out. And I'm pretty sure that you could like choose who's going to be your partner, because there's 2 8th graders that lead a group of 6th graders around. And so most people when I was in 6th grade got to choose their friends. So hopefully we'll get to as well, because that would mean I get to just hang out with my friends. And yeah, actually one of my football friends is doing it, and I actually really want to have him and his brother on the podcast, because that would actually be really fun. We could just talk about football for an hour. They're really good at like talking and telling stories and all that stuff. So looking forward to that, hopefully. And like I said, they're in that group with me, so we'll get to lead around my little brother. And hopefully he liked 6th grade as much as me, because 6th grade was my favorite, probably one of the best years of my life. 7th grade was all right. It just wasn't like as exciting as 6th grade, because 6th grade you're coming in, you're meeting a ton of new people, you get friends, you're going on trips, just all this stuff. You just always have a smile on your face. And then 7th grade, you're just kind of like, okay. And then you just have a lot more, you have like the responsibility of the 8th graders, kind of mixed with still being like not the big dog on campus. So that's kind of, you get that from the 6th grader side. And I mean, 6th graders are like coming to the middle school, 8th graders are leaving the middle school, and the 7th graders are just kind of there. So it's a lot more just chill, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It just wasn't as exciting as last year, and probably won't be as exciting as this next year. But this next year should be really fun as well. Like I said a couple times now, my brother's going to be coming into 6th grade. Yeah, I actually had to use my brother's monitor and computer. I think I said that before, but I have to share a lot of stuff with my brother. Like, I have to give him a ton of my stuff, but he doesn't necessarily have to do all that stuff for me. So it actually took a lot of convincing, but got through. And if you don't know who my brother is, or I mean, you'd only know him from one short and maybe one of my past podcasts, but he was, if you haven't seen it, it's Throwing Your Axe for the First Time. And it's just a short that, like a sketch comedy that me and him did. So if you haven't seen that, definitely go out and watch it, because I think it's really funny. Maybe you will too. And yeah, like I said, we have to share a lot of stuff. We have to share a room, which is, I mean, not that I'd be able to have all this stuff in my room anyways, but I feel like I'd get to have a lot more stuff in my room if I didn't share a room, because everything that I want to do to the room, like every design thing, every change that I want to make, has to be okayed by him. And we just have a really different style because we're 2 years apart. Doesn't mean either of our styles are bad, just means they're different. Actually, wouldn't mind sharing a house one day, like roommates or something like that, because I probably would never want to live alone. And the only scenario where I'd live alone is where I waited a while after college, or I waited till after college to get married. And I want to get married pretty early and have kids pretty early. So, because the way I see it, the earlier you have kids, the more time you have to spend with them. And that means, like, by the time my kids are all grown up, I'll still be like young enough to still be able to go on cool vacations and still be able to do fun things, and not have to worry about, like, I don't know, falling down the stairs or something. Because, I mean, my parents had us at kind of young, or pretty young, I think. My dad was 28, I want to say, when he had me. And then I'm the second child. I think he was 26 when he had my sister. And then my mom was 21 when she had my sister. And then, so that means she was 23 when she had me. So I definitely want to have kids at pretty young, because then, like I said, you could just do more stuff. But I wouldn't be opposed to having a roommate, like during college and stuff, because I don't really want to live alone. I feel like living alone would be, well, lonely. I feel like we could, I mean, I wouldn't love sharing a room. I mean, with my wife, it would be fine, but like with a roommate, I would never share a room, but I would share a house, because then we could, like, do stuff together, have parties. It just wouldn't be boring. Like, for 2 roommates, you could start like a lot of fights and stuff like that. For 3 roommates, or for 2 roommates, it could start fights. 4 roommates, it might get a little crowded, plus like scheduling conflicts, and plus the house would be really loud, and there would just always be something. And then, but 3 roommates, like, if it was me and 2 other people, I think that's like the perfect, I don't know. It's just, I feel like if I had 2 other people and we each had like our own rooms, we did our own stuff, but we still like hung out all the time, we were like 3 best friends, I think that's like the best. Because I don't know what the quota is. It might not be with threes, but I'm pretty sure it is with threes. It's good things always come in threes. And I totally believe that. I mean, my parents have 3 children. Trying to think of, I can't think of anything else that comes in threes. But there's a lot of stuff. And it's all good things. All good things. The 3 Little Pigs. Yeah. Anything like that. I can't wait till I own a house. But I'm going to finish that thought in a little bit. Just going to take a quick water break. And we'll come back with like another 30-ish minutes. So like I was saying earlier, I would really like to own a house in the near future. I get that's not quite that possible since I'm 13, but I think it'd be really cool to own a house at a young age, because then you could just get all like the benefits. And I mean, the most likely thing to happen would be I get my worker's permit. I'm not sure what age you can get a worker's permit. Let me see. So the youngest you could get a worker's permit is at 14. So when you get the worker's permit, I'm guessing you're able to just work however many hours. I'm pretty sure, like, since you're younger, they limit you to 3 hours during the school week, or 3 hours per day during like the school days, and 18 hours per week during the school weeks. Not really sure how that works, but I'm pretty sure you could work more in the summer. And I don't have like the math pulled up right now, but me and a couple of my friends calculated's just like a really fancy word. We just put a bunch of numbers in so that we could see how long it would take us to actually get enough to buy a house just working the summers at like Chick-fil-A. And I forget how much money per hour it was, but we eventually got to it, and it was like from the summer of 7th grade to the summer before senior year of high school. I'm pretty sure if you work like the max you're allowed to work, you could get like $100K. My math might be a little bit off on that, but I mean, $100K is pretty good. Or no, it was 20 times. So I think it was 20 hours a week, or $20 per hour, and then 3 hour or 18 hours per week, which means, or no, it was more than that. It was 30 hours per week because it's the summer. And then, so 30 times 20 is 600. And then 600 times 4 is 4 because there's 4 weeks in a month. 600 times 4 is what can I do? Basic math. Oh yeah, 2,400. So 2,400 times 12 is Alexa, what's 2,400 times 12?
2,400 times 12 is 28,800.
28,800. So that means $28,800 a summer. Or no. So that a year times 4. Alexa, what's that times 4?
1 times 4 equals 4. 2 times 4 equals 8. 3 times 4 equals 12. 4 times 4 equals 16. 5 times 4 equals 20. 6 times 4
Alexa,
equals...
Stop. So we did some math, but I think we did include the hours you can work during the school week. But I don't remember all of it, but I remember it being like pretty good money that you could get. I'm glad that they have it so you could work at 14. I mean, it would be kind of weird if you could work before. I mean, I would love to work instead of go to school, but I get why they don't allow it. Because, I mean, child labor laws are kind of weird. Because on one hand, they're like valid, but on the other hand, like, school is kind of work in a way. Because one of my teachers said that all the students kept bringing out how like you don't get paid to go to school, but then he said that you actually do get paid in a way, because you have like almost all your expenses are paid by your parents, and for them to keep like supplying you go to school and work for basically what like your parents give you, and so they don't have to be like worrying about you home alone for a long times each day. I mean, they should change how schools are. I mean, I'm not gonna change what like the curriculum is, but something's got to change. It's probably gonna be well after I'm done with school, but something's definitely got to change, because I don't need the Pythagorean theorem. That's what we were learning about this year. So I don't need all that stuff. I mean, there's some stuff that you're like, okay, yeah, we should know this, but we don't know taxes. We don't know all that stuff. I mean, I'm far from the only one that's complaining about that. But then again, like, child labor laws are reasonable because you don't want like the parents abusing it. Kind of like how like child stars, a bunch of like child actors and stuff, a bunch of them like are forced into it by their parents. Like even Michael Jackson and Macaulay Culkin, they're both kind of like forced into it. So like I think they should have some laws on that. But I think that they should like kind of let kids work if they want to work. It's just the jobs would be like really limited, and it would only be if the kid wanted to work. Obviously not like 8-year-olds, but like I feel like once you're in middle school, not everybody, but a bunch of kids are responsible enough to like carry on jobs. And I mean, I like tried like lemonade stands and stuff. They work, but it's just the amount of money that you end up getting versus like how much time and effort you put into it. It's like the money's down here, and then the work you put into it's like way up here. So it's like for kids doing like jobs that they could actually do, the work just like way outweighs the potential money that you could get. That sounds really lazy, but I promise I'm not that lazy. I'm smart. Work smarter, not harder. That's what I always say. I mean, I could just like ride my bike to whatever you call it, like the job. Because I feel like I could work at like McDonald's or something and like be completely fine. But yeah, it's definitely not as much. I mean, I probably wouldn't trust a kid my age or even like a kid a couple years older to be like serving me at a fast food restaurant. But then again, I don't trust the people that work at the fast food restaurants already, so I don't know if anyone knows the McDonald's like conspiracy, but or it's not really conspiracy. I know this is true. So basically, if you know how the McDonald's ice cream machine is always going out, it's never like going out. It's the only thing that like the people that I forget what they're called, like cashiers or the people that take your order and like give you your order and stuff. All they have to do is give you your order and take your order, and they don't have to make it. But the McFlurry is what they have to do, and so they just don't want to do extra work because McDonald's workers are lazy. So if you ever wonder why the machine's always broken, it's never really broken. It's just workers don't want to do it. Yeah. Like I said, I could just ride my bike there. I ride my bike to school every morning and ride back every day. I have an electric bike. It's got like a ton of miles. I think the numbers, I want to say like 2,080, I want to say. Yeah. This is my bike right here. Or it's similar. Yeah, this is more like my bike right here. Except I don't have this second battery. I only have this top one. I actually might get a second battery because mine probably has 12 miles on it. But that's including like a ton of hills because where I live, it's pretty hilly. But I mean, it only has 12 miles on it. And if you think about it, because my school is 3 miles away. And so I'm riding 6 miles at least every day. And so I don't have a ton of more miles to ride around, especially since like I live in a pretty big, or I don't live in the city, but I live in a pretty big like town. So it's like can't just keep doing whatever. I should probably get a bigger battery. That bike's actually pretty good though. I got it for $500 for Christmas, and it's actually held up really well. I've had it for a year and a half, and I got, like I said, I got 2,080 miles, I think it is, on the bike. And then I did have to replace a couple things. I had to replace the kickstand, the pedals, the brakes, the tires, the inner tubes. I don't think there's anything else, but yeah, I did have to replace a couple of things. But luckily, the Movkin company actually sent us a couple like free parts, extra parts. So we didn't have to pay that much or I didn't have to pay anything, but actually what I might ask for my birthday is like a new light, because if you look on the bike, this light's, I mean, it's okay. I kind of like it, but I mean, I feel like it would look better with like one of those nameplates right there, and then one of those like small like line lights right here, like above the plate. But that's just my opinion. And actually, my main present that I'm getting this year for my birthday is a phone, because we get a phone in 8th grade, and my birthday's in like voice crack. My birthday is in like late October, so I'm gonna get a phone then, and then that's probably what I'm gonna end up using to record. But I don't want to talk too much about recording and all that stuff. But yeah, there's actually these 2 places that I ride my bike around. Like, I wouldn't say a lot, but I'm probably gonna start up a little bit more since summer's getting closer. We have our country club. That's got like a pool, one of those ring toss thing. It's not ring toss, but it's a ring attached to a string that's on the roof, and you throw it and you try laying down a hook. And then it's got like shuffleboard. It's got a pool. I don't know if I already said that. And then it's got a bunch of arcade games. But that place is really cool. And then, unfortunately, on like the other side of town, there's this other place that's really fun. It's, I don't know what they call it. I think I might have talked about this earlier, but it's a teen center. I think it's called something like that, or it might be like activity center, but and then there's like a teen section, and so they got like gaming consoles and stuff, and then they got air hockey, pool, ping pong, basketball courts, volleyball courts, skate park. They got a lot of stuff. That place is really fun. I just went there with my friends. I think I talked about that on my last episode. Definitely gonna be hanging out with my friends a lot this week, since this is the last week of school. Finally, it's almost over with. So it just got, because right now, for me at least, it's Monday, and this is gonna come out on Wednesday. So that means, oh yeah, on Wednesday I got a trip to a water park with my whole class, which that'll be a real cool way to end off the year. And then we just got 2 more days after that. It's gonna be really chill. Not much going on, probably. It's gonna be really fun. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be hanging out with my friends a lot over the summer. That activity center that I was talking about, it's got like this thing where all like students can go to the activity center and go in, and they get like a free ride on the bus to the beach. And so me and my friends are probably gonna do that a lot, and so our parents don't have to drive us all the time. And then, yeah, just me and a couple of my friends will go. Maybe I'll take like my little brother and older sister. We're gonna do a lot. It's gonna be really fun this summer. Yeah, I need to find a show to watch though, because I finished Arrested Development. Well, I didn't finish the 5th season, but it's not as good as the first 3 seasons. So I'm like basically done with it. And then I've watched How I Met Your Mother, and The Walking Dead. And so I'm not really sure what I'm going to watch next. I kind of want to watch like a comedy show. I mean, I've been wanting to watch The Office for a while and Parks and Recreation. Those I've heard a lot about, and I've heard they're really good. So, but the only place it's free is Peacock, I think, and we don't have a Peacock subscription. But, there might be a way I could get on The Office on Disney Plus, because if I get like a VPN, so I might be able to get on there. If you don't know what a VPN is, it's basically like I'm trying to think of how to explain it. Okay, so it's right. So you have your streaming device, and then it goes through like the service, and then it goes to like the other internet source in wherever like your desired location is. And so you could stream, let's say, for example, The Office, it's only available in Spain on Disney Plus. So if I have a VPN, then I could make it look to Disney Plus like I'm in Spain, and so I could watch the shows that are only available in other countries in this country. Greatest country in the world. Am I right? Anyways, actually, hopefully I'll be able to do that. Kind of see what happens. Speaking of countries, I don't know if this is a country, but it's outside of this country. Going to Costa Rica this summer. Unfortunately, I'll be out of the country on the 4th of July. And as you know, or as some of you may know, it's the 250th anniversary of America. Or not America, but the U.S. Because we signed our Declaration of Independence 250 years ago. It's crazy. I always think of the U.S. being so old, but really, let's see, my great-grandpa, or my grandma, or my grandpa was probably born in like the 40s or 50s, and his dad was probably born in like, I don't know, the 20s. No, probably earlier. So like the 10s. That doesn't sound right. But like the 10s or 20s. And so that means just need to go like 3 more generations back. So it's only been along for like 6 generations. Because let's just say each person lived to like 80. So it's 80, 4. So it's like 4 or 5 generations, which is crazy. I'm gonna feel so old when I get old. I know that doesn't really sound like it makes sense, but if you think about it, you're gonna be like, I was alive in the 20s. Which, if someone said that to you now, you'd be like, holy crap. How old are you? I mean, obviously I'm not gonna be alive in the next 20s, but like even to someone born in like the 50s, you're like, wow, that was like so long ago. That's really cool. I mean, life is gonna be so much different. It's gonna be great to explain to my kids and my grandkids about like COVID-19, because I'm gonna over exaggerate everything. I guarantee it. Because or you might not know, but there's like a couple scenes in The Walking Dead where it's like the beginning of the, like, I don't know, apocalypse, and everyone was like huddled in their houses, scared for their lives, blocking out all the doors. They had like almost no contact. They were just watching on their TVs, stuff like that. So that's definitely how I'm gonna explain it. And then I'm gonna just explain how there's millions of people killed and everyone was terrified for their lives. I'm just gonna over exaggerate everything. I mean, pretty sure millions of people were killed, but it's not the point. Yeah, I'm really excited. The next episode will most likely be about the first weeks of summer, which is going to be really exciting. And so, guess I'll wrap this up. I'm Leo Mason, and thank you for listening to Morning Walks. This has been a Bad Productions podcast starring Leo Mason, editing by me, Leo Mason. Thank you for listening.